both devices.
That's right. That's right.
So I was trying to reach over. He probably should have started earlier.
Yeah. Well, I do apologize. Again, I'm Cal Coakley.
And I am Renee Coakley.
And we're with the Closing Academy, where sales is a teachable skill.
That is correct.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yes.
And we're on here today to talk about what?
Well, we are going to talk about knowing your product. So, a lot of times we figure, oh, I know my product. I know, and we don't. We don't. So knowing your product, it's important that you know your product and how basically, how can you sell something if you're not familiar with it? So a lot of times, I've been in sales for a while. I've sold printers. Oh my gosh, I think I've sold printers. I've sold houses. I've sold insurance. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just made me
selling machine.
Wow. It just made me reflect back. But, a lot of times we go, oh, no, I know my product. I know exactly what it is I'm selling. But no, really actually know your product. Like, the feel of it, the texture of it, knowing the capabilities. Yes. Thanks for joining, Dino. The capabilities of your product. I mean, really know your product. Yes. I didn't understand a long time ago when people were saying things like, oh, you have to believe in the product in order to be able to sell it. I'm thinking, no, I don't. All I need to do is just sell it. Yeah. But no, you have to believe in the product, meaning knowing exactly what it is that you're selling, what the capabilities are, what the challenges are, because a lot of times when you're positioning your product, you need to be able to know how you fit in with the competition, how you're able to compete. And a lot of times we don't know that. We just go, oh yeah, the client might come back and go, well, ABC company is offering the same product for $10 less. But if you know your product and you know the capabilities of your product and you know their product, then you're able to go, yes, they might be cheaper. But do you want cheap or do you want quality? They might not be able to offer the same amount of quality that you're offering.
That's right. That's
right. So,
and that applies not just to product, but it also applies to service.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
that is true.
So if you provide a service, you have to know your service. What kind of service you provide?
That is right.
How you gonna? We go back again. How can you solve that problem?
Yes.
Because you, as a sales professional or an entrepreneur, or you're selling some type of product or service, you have to be able to solve a problem. So when you solve that problem, you make that client very satisfied.
Yes, I do want to thank Lynette for joining. Also seeing that Dino joined and he said his favorite closer. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot there, Dino.
I know that one of the things that I've come across, especially when I was selling real estate, where, people would say, oh, well, I can, and real estate agents, a lot of times, there are a lot of us. So they'll say, well, this agent said they could go ahead and do this or they can do that. But what I knew what my specialty was. And for me, my specialty was working with people that were first-time home buyers.
Yes.
And what I did to make myself stand out was I developed checklists for everything. And it was just because for me, I knew how it felt being on the other end. So being on the other end, I knew that there were so many unknowns that came up.
Yes.
And with me not knowing the unknown and not knowing how to react or not knowing where money was going to just pour out, I said, you know what? I know how it felt being on my end. So the difference that I'm going to make is I'm going to develop checklists. I'm going to develop a checklist. So, okay, now we've closed the deal. What happens next? And it was those little touches that set me apart. So, I might not have sold as many houses as, this counterpart, but I always had repeat customers. I had repeat clients, and I also had lots of referrals.
You do. Folks call you all the time.
Yeah, they still call.
Yes.
So, and that's with me not doing any advertising.
Yes.
And that's because they knew that when they went through that process with me, that it wasn't stressful. And I've had people tell me things like, oh, I started the process before with someone else and it was just too much and I wasn't going to do it anymore. But because they know what they're getting when they get me. They know that I'm going to explain the process. I'm going to make things simple.
Yes.
I'm going to basically take the stress off of them. So it's not a stressful process. So, you know, even with products and services, if you know your product and you know what it is you're offering, and if even you are the advantage, knowing yourself, knowing that, okay, this is what I do, this is how I close deals,
That's
you know,
right.
you want to work with me.
That's right. You are the expert. You are the expert.
Yes.
I know whatever product or service you have, you are the expert. You know it better than anyone else, inside and out. So even sometimes when you're presenting your product or service to a prospect, sometimes you might feel a little shy or you might feel not confident, but keep in mind that you are the expert. So they don't know. Even if you don't know, they don't know. And if you don't know at the time, as long as you let them know, hey, you know, I can get back to you with that answer, you know, and it works all the time. So don't feel like if you don't know everything, that's okay. You can always get the answer from someone else, you know, and let them know that.
Yeah, but take the time to get familiar with your products. Use your products, test your products, even your services. If it's a service that you're offering, if you can test the service or even go through the service maybe with a client so that you're going through it step by step with them at the same time so that you know exactly what the capabilities are, you know, what issues you might have, and just being able to, you know, actually trust that what you're selling is going to meet a need. So a lot of times we just go, oh no, I'll sell it. Like, oh, I know the selling points, but actually being able to touch, feel, use the products that it is that you're selling, then you're able to, of course, come from a space of authority.
Yes.
So know the products.
And services.
And services.
That's
and
right.
Services, because we do both.
That's it. I'm Cal Copeland.
And I am Renee Copeland.
And we're with the Closing Academy, where sales is a teachable skill. And yes, anyone can learn how to close the deal.
Thank you. And you guys have a great day.
Share.
Oh, share, like, subscribe.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thanks.